floor again.
And it's her birthday. Are we on?
That's a very loaded question. Very loaded. We are on. Absolutely. Hi, everybody. Welcome into Women Unscripted and Unscripted. We've been going since what time? 10 o'clock this morning, right?
This morning.
And
Harbor.
it's been nonstop. So I'm going to introduce our gals. We have special guest, but not unfamiliar, Ms. Chrysula Gauze.
Hello.
And Chrysula is amazing, and you're going to get to know her throughout this hour, if you haven't already, through Facebook and my postings. And of course, we have Tinkerbella, also known as Helena Trengata. And to my right is the amazing woman of all the mountains in all the world,
That's because I was traveling for a little bit.
Sharon Kistler. And of course, Maura Sweeney, Maura for you. And that is exactly what she is.
Yes, I am. Whoever you are, I'm for you.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we've already been having a glance behind the scenes. It's too bad John didn't come behind the scenes and get this really on film. But we were talking about, because we are unscripted, one thing we do all agree on is to really bring forth positivity on our show. We are the new view to give you our spin to make your life better, and we appreciate you tuning in. We've decided that it really is up to our generations to make a difference and to set example, and to let you know that we don't have to live with all of the news that is on, the things that's going on around the world, and we're here to produce and affect you with our love and laughter, even sometimes tears, right?
Yes.
Right, girls?
Very true.
And so I just welcome you in. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you.
She was just getting ready to say that, right?
Yes, I was. We were talking about some titles of shows in the news and everything, and you had brought up, what was it?
Scary Sunday.
Scary Sundays. Okay, don't look it up. Just trust us, just with the sounds of it. But what I want to do is welcome you into Marvelous Monday. And it is a Marvelous Monday because we choose to make it a Marvelous Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Absolutely.
Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I have to say also my Marvelous Monday did end up marvelous because I was unscripted after I spoke at your wonderful meeting down at the Paradise Restaurant in Safety Harbor.
great.
It was so awesome, and we talked about video, we talked about Instagram, we both spoke, we were like a tag team. It was really awesome.
And we never do that.
And we would never do that. So after we left, of course, you went and dropped me off, and I didn't have the right key to get in my house. So it's 80 degrees out, and she's almost out of my community. The key that I had was a key to one of the listings that I have through Remax up the street. So I'm sitting there already starting to perspire. The last time she had to bail me out was when I left the key at home for the car.
Start carrying her keys.
I think that's a great idea, right?
That's right. Or you could have went down the street and sat in that house.
That's what she
I
said.
was thinking of that, Barbara. That's
Use
right.
the pool, the sauna.
And do an unscripted open house, right?
Make a day of it.
That would have worked. That would, but I want to thank you for that. You didn't have to do that.
I bet Kelly was surprised to see you.
Oh yeah, he was. So, she dropped me off at Premier Choice Fitness where we teach Tai Chi. So I walked up to the door and I went in. Hi everybody, they're all gone. It's me, of course. So anyway, my lesson learned in that was to. That's a better idea. I'm going to give you a key because I'm always with you. So anyway, we were talking about what are we going to talk about?
Why it's Marvelous Monday instead of Sad Sunday? Scary Sunday. Yeah. You know, and you said as soon as we mentioned the word Marvelous Monday, which of course goes with your name, Barbara, Marvelous.
That wasn't
Marvell.
my idea. It was HSN.
No, you said we need to make a hashtag out of it. How many of us live these days by hashtags? And hashtags will take over the whole country by storm. And then you ever notice sometimes it could be a day later, 3 days later, it's like nobody ever heard of it. Because people are picking up on a lot of the momentary oftentimes agitations, and then everybody's on the same agitation moment. But why not make a hashtag like Marvelous Monday? I could get behind that.
Okay, you already did.
I did. It's already on Facebook.
Already did.
It is.
But I love it.
Right.
Yes.
There you go, Sharon.
Yeah. So now, I learned from Tink about don't do that little monkey thing.
No.
Come on. Do it. Yeah. Let's everybody do it.
What is it?
like the little.
The white.
God. Oh my gosh.
You got it over with now.
Oh, God.
Okay, we all did it. That's like,
Oh, you faced your fear.
It's done now.
If you want to see more of this craziness,
This is
come to
behind the
Leo's
scenes
for the Sassy Soul Sisters night.
yes.
Gang, this Saturday, Sunday night, 5:30. Leo's in Palm Harbor.
Okay.
And stay a little later than 5.
This Sunday.
What,
This
6?
Sunday.
What time did I leave? Like 6, and I missed it all.
Oh yeah, I missed it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
We have
goodness.
to make sure Marcella's coming.
Oh yeah.
I may break down and come.
Yes.
It depends on what happens during the day.
sometimes Barb's the show. That night, Marcella was the show.
That's right.
I wish you would have. Well, never mind. I wish you would have gotten that organic thing when I went down to the floor.
Oh, my gosh.
But I'm doing really good with my leg.
You are doing
And if it wasn't
fabulous.
for you guys lifting me up and carrying me out, and you coming over with that walker.
That's right.
For 3 weeks.
Talking about it takes a village, right? It takes a village.
Okay.
Some good times. Yes.
Oh my goodness! All right, we're okay.
I wonder if anybody out there
Knows what you're talking about. I have no
like
idea.
to-
Yes.
Explain,
Okay.
Barbara.
Let's show respect.
Explain.
Okay.
Okay. One last. Okay. Go ahead.
well,
Just get after us.
we're trying to talk and share ideas on how to be motivated and inspired and creative.
Find some
That's right.
friends to laugh with, because this is amazing.
That is
right?
true.
This
That's
is very
true.
good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And having fun.
And having fun is
That's right.
really
Laughter is
sometimes
important.
has gotten forgotten, I think, in all of our everyday craziness of, go home, fix the meal, do the laundry,
serious.
do the work, do the this, do the that. The kids, I mean,
Yes.
I don't have kids at home, but these parents who are working all day.
You don't have
and-
kids at home? Excuse me?
Kids at home? No.
Hi, Joe.
I don't know how they do it. And so what's happened in this in my life, and so I'm thinking it's happened in a lot of people's lives, is
Yeah.
fun got put on the back
Yes,
burner.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
And since we've been doing this Sassy Soul Sisters
That's
game
right.
night, I'm telling you what, the endorphins last me a whole week.
See that?
Oh,
And that's what it's about. And it changes your frequency level.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Yes.
raises it high. And when you have that frequency level high, you can't have those negative emotions.
Right.
I mean, you just can't have two
You're
opposing
right.
emotions
That's
at the
right.
same time. It's all about what emotional intelligence is about.
Yes.
Exactly.
But what was that main point you just made again, Helena? It was that we forgot how to have fun. What did you say? Was that the expression?
I think that we put it on the back burner because it's like we don't
We don't have
we're
time,
so
we're too
busy.
busy.
Right.
So
We don't have
much
time.
stress.
When we have a few minutes, we'll make fun. We'll have fun, but we'd never make the time. And since we've been making the time, it's
yeah.
really been uplifting for me.
How about this
And-
one? A priority.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It
But no,
will-
but
it
you're saying
is.
people don't
Yes.
make it a priority anymore, or they don't
No.
make the time as if, and then what happens? It ends up outside of our culture. We don't know what it is.
That's right. Right.
I need to offer something. Earlier this week, I was at the chiropractor, like my shoulders thing. Anyway, there was this cute little lady. I came in very early to get out of the rain, and immediately, like you, Crisula, she was so familiar to me. And I'm talking with her. I find out she's originally from Puerto Rico, grew up in New York City. Probably 10 or more years older than I am. But right away, we are connecting. And you know what she starts talking about? She said, when you were growing up, did you ever play this game? Did you play that game? Did you have one of those dolls that you give it something to drink and the next thing
Yes,
was
yes.
something
Baby
diety?
Alive.
Oh, Tiny Tears.
Nope, wasn't
No?
that one.
Oh, that's
you
way
gave her
before
the
your
bottle,
time.
and the next
She
thing
went
you
to the
knew,
restroom,
has a
right?
diaper.
Yeah,
anyway.
Baby Alive.
Oh.
Whatever. It wasn't Baby Alive, but it was some. As soon as she mentioned, I said, I haven't heard the name of that
my
doll in 50-something years. But she grew up in
just
an
remember
apartment in
Chatty
New
Cathy.
York,
Oh, I
very
remember that
little
one, too.
money,
Right.
and she had all of these games. She mentioned, and she was just adorable. And she said to me, what is it with people today? She said, we didn't have any money back then. And she said, we made games out of everything.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And nobody needed anything special. They just created games.
And
did.
we talked face.
That was her other
face.
point,
And
too.
look at us all.
Well,
Oh,
I
you
did.
your
I left
phone.
mine. I left mine
Well,
somewhere else.
And we went outside. We did things outdoors.
Yeah, we
we
did.
weren't attached to a TV. We weren't attached to one of those games the kids do now.
Right.
So we didn't need anything.
Yes.
We made our own fun.
We were
made our
fulfilled.
forts. We
It's
made
the
our, all of that
imagination
out
and the
there.
creativity that, and sometimes don't you worry about these kids that are coming up with all the imagination and creativity is in their hand, rather than
That's
does
right.
does
Yes,
that
that's a
encourage
point.
them to
Yes.
have imagination and creativity, or does it discourage them?
Well, that's one of the
I think
reasons
there's
why we
a
have this show.
both, because if
You've got grandkids that
Yeah.
you're interacting with, so tell
So
us.
I sometimes I feel like they're too enamored with these little games and Nintendos. I mean, they know everything about that. And then I'm like, okay, life without that. I had a granddaughter that wasn't in a school per se that they taught them all of this. And then I'm like, well, what's going to happen to her future?
If she doesn't have
Right?
she doesn't
So
have
then
it.
you have that, you need that balance
That's
and
right.
find them games that can teach them, because there's some
right.
beautiful games that can teach them how to think on their
Like the
own,
board
how to
games.
draw,
Yeah.
how to do things. So if you bring those games to your grandkids and your kids,
very true.
it actually opens them up, right?
does.
That's
You
a
know,
good
it does.
idea.
I remember hearing, I forget where, I think it was something on television, but they were talking about teaching your kids how to play the game of chess.
Well, it would be hard for me to teach them because I don't know.
I'm only good for one move at a time. I can't think ahead.
But the strategies
Yes.
that you have to use
Yes.
to play chess
Right.
teaches you to think ahead. You have to think out 2 or 3 steps ahead, making your moves to capture the queen or the king, and it helps you in your life. They're saying that the
Absolutely.
residual
It does.
effects
It
of
does.
this,
It
learning how to
does.
play that game chess, will help you to manage your strategies and thinking ahead in life.
Exactly. Hold that thought. We have some housekeeping, and we will be right back after this.
Wow, that went fast.
At a certain age, so this is supposed to happen. No, it's not supposed to happen.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
At a certain age, so this is supposed to happen. No, it's not supposed to happen.
Overwhelming, just
It is. It's all about the energy. And we're back. Speaking of energy. You think we're having fun here today? To your point about people forgetting to have fun, right? We were just talking about that. And, and
Talking about,
It's
just
like really
reminding
every chance you
everyone.
get to laugh, it's just, you want to take it. Because you know how some of us like, and that's their laugh, you know what I'm saying?
I'm like, oh God.
Give it a laugh, girl. If it's funny, let it out.
Right. Exactly.
You're right.
A good
You're
belly
right.
laugh. And that's what we do when we, we get
obviously.
together.
They
But
say
it is
that
very
to
true, though.
remember.
People they're not there anymore. It's very interesting, but unless you make it a priority, unless you direct yourself to it, it could be gone. Because where does everything come from? It comes from us, right?
Yep. Yep.
Either
Absolutely.
you're receiving everything around you and you're becoming that, or you're thinking, you know what, I want to make something new.
And you can and you can receive whatever it is that you choose
Yes,
to become.
exactly.
And I'm wondering what would happen if these were to go away, if the television was to go away.
my gosh.
We would get back to source.
Yes, we would.
We would
go
get
with
back
that.
to source,
Yep.
and we would start playing again at every single age.
Yeah.
And that's what
right.
we're here is maybe to teach us all how to play again because we got it mastered, don't we, girls?
Well, we
know
had
how
the
to
childhood
play.
all throughout our childhood.
Tell us about your
right.
blocks.
Yeah, I want to hear about
I
your
was
grandma.
mentioning that my grandmother made a set of blocks, building blocks to play with. In fact, they were made from pieces of the house when they constructed her
my
house.
goodness.
The
Oh,
triangles, not the rectangles. She painted them all different bright colors. Oh, wow. And I still have those blocks today. But through the years, and my father would, get involved in this, we'd build these roads and the houses and the buildings and the castles. And as we got older, we became more sophisticated with that. And then my children have played with those blocks, and my niece and nephew today.
Wow.
That is the
Chloe and
coolest.
Logan play
Isn't
with the
that?
blocks. So I think it's watching everyone not just be creative, but using the imagination
Yes.
and working
Yes.
on stretching the imagination
Right,
and putting everything together. And I think with the phones or the iPads, the kids are looking at someone else that has put it together.
Yes.
Right,
And they're
right,
just
right.
working on speed or collecting
Right.
points and things like that. Whereas, other games and whatnot that we had were teaching us lessons like we were talking about.
And the other part is someone sat down with you, probably.
Yes, so
I mean,
it's
your
interactive,
grandmother
right?
might have made the blocks, and whether or not she sat down with you, but you mentioned that your father
My
sat down
father
with you,
did.
and he
Yes,
helped
he
you
did.
build this.
Yes.
And a lot of the toys that were back then, remember the little button on the string where you did all that? Someone made it for you, and then someone showed you how to use it.
That's
You're
right.
right.
And so, I mean,
Took
even if
time.
it's the first time that we played hopscotch, someone older than
had
us
to show
showed you how
showed
to
us
do
how
it.
to do it.
Played with
Right.
us.
Did the numbering of the hopscotch and did the jump rope thing with us.
Yes.
Where this, it's almost like they teach themselves.
Yes.
It's done for
And
you.
they're
It's
definitely-
done for you.
Yeah.
You just
It's done,
enter in,
and
but
then-
it's already
but
done.
it's solitary, so they
Yes.
don't
Yes.
have any sense of teamwork.
That's
or,
right.
I mean, you're building a road. You're building the road probably with your siblings.
Yes,
Or
and little
cousins.
cars,
and
using
then you
other
have that.
things.
Yeah.
Where, all of these things, there was somebody else involved in it.
And
whether
they
it was
don't-
an
And
adult or
that's
a
where the
child.
memories are too, often because they're shared memories with somebody
Yes.
else.
And they don't learn how to play and lose, and it's okay, and how to, that
Yes.
also comes into
That's
effect,
exactly right.
So you don't have that, okay, it's okay, but next time I'm going to try harder. harder. You know, you're not going to get so self-absorbed that, oh my goodness, I lost and crash and burn. You know, it's like it gives you that. I don't know.
You've made some really good points. Good thing you invited Ursula on today.
It is.
She's got a lot of good ideas.
You know, we didn't just to pick her up in the parking lot.
She would have been good if you did, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I would have came.
You want to hear something interesting? You're right about like playing with other people, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
That's right.
And how are you going to handle your emotions when you're not winning? Right?
Exactly. Yes,
Okay.
that's the best
now
way to
listen
say
to
it.
what this reminded me of. I might have shared this before on the show if it came up, but one of my workout classes, we have a lot of familiar people, then we have other people that'll come from other areas. There was a woman from Hillsborough County, Tampa, and she must have overheard a conversation. She said, in our district in Tampa, all of Hillsborough County, they gave up, what do you call it? When you play, what is it when you play? Recess.
Okay.
They gave up recess.
Oh my goodness.
Well, here's the thing. They have
Oh
so
my
many
gosh.
things they want the kids to do during the day. They got it out of the schedule. And she said, she had a grown daughter. And she said, this is what I say. She said, when we had recess, we made our own games. We had to she said, if we had bullies, we had to figure out what to do with it. We had to learn how to defend ourselves, defend other people, work through social problems, and still be friends at the end of the day. She said, she said at some level, they're trying to engineer everything so it's perfect. But she said the kids don't know how to have normal interpersonal relationships that are unsupervised, not so much unsupervised, but unstructured.
Yes.
Right.
You know, to that point, I've been, I do My Chamber TV and I interview so many people in the community, people that are doing good, like yourself, with charities and things of that nature and where donations go. And I'm sorry, I can't remember what the name of it was, but I had a gal come in and talk about how they are starting to get meditation in the schools.
Oh, yeah.
And the Dalai Lama posted something. I reposted it, just I think in the last couple of days. I don't know if John can post it up here to show you.
With the little girl.
Did you see? Did you?
Yeah.
Then I reposted that because it said something to the point. If we were to take every 8-year-old, how old is Cameron?
8.
She's 8. Imagine.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
If we were to take every 8-year-old and we don't have to wait for the schools. Teach them that meditation and that presence, that space, so that they get that as a habit. They create that as a habit, that we would be able to change these volatile times.
That's right.
With only one generation.
That's right. One practice.
Because they would have the skill set to quiet down
To listen to their bodies.
and not react.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Respond,
but not
don't
react.
react.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what's happening. And unfortunately, like to your point, I was really glad that you brought that up about we forget to have fun because there's so many fires to put out with many people who are going through all kinds of stuff. And trust me, each one of us here has gone through stuff, right?
That's right. And then a few things, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a matter how you come out and the choices that we make to get there.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Absolutely.
But it's like a self-development or self-leadership skills,
It is.
right?
But that's
they're
learning,
not.
right?
Yes, and they have. Sometimes maybe there's some people they're lucky. It's innate for them. They know how to do it, right? I'm mad, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to breathe a little bit, come back with a smile, and get over it.
Or
Right?
fester.
Let it fester, whatever.
And come back as a bully.
You
That'll do it.
But it is true. Most people, those are acquired skill sets, right?
Yeah.
And they
are.
come from different situations, but in each one you have a choice to make.
Right.
And then imagine when you start saying, you know what? When I make this choice, I feel much better.
Yeah.
Or I made that choice, and I don't want to repeat that again. But we don't work that into learning skills because
right.
I don't think because we're not aware. Maybe we're getting more aware.
We are.
You know, we were talking about the games again. It just reminds me of like disappointments. Going
Nobody
back,
ever suffers from
remember
those.
playing. Remember playing the card game Old Maid.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you hated getting that Old Maid card. I mean, it was like, I got this Old Maid card. Can I just put it somewhere? Pass it off to the next person, and then you snicker and laugh because you knew they got the Old Maid card.
But everybody sooner or later gets the Old Maid, right? So, but it
I can see Cher with the
Yeah,
old
but it was
maid.
that. But you didn't get angry.
Right.
You didn't get angry.
You
I
learned.
mean, you just kind of went, oh, I don't want this. But then you were this strategy again. How can I pass this off? Or, you know, I used to fan my cards out and stick the old made-up roll. Hoping somebody would take it.
Pick the one that stands out to you, right?
I think
To this day, people still don't like old maids.
they do. But we learned to get through there with a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's very
That's
true.
the difference,
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
I think a lot of the children, and I give every child today all due respect with what they have to deal with.
Oh, my goodness,
In the
yes.
world today.
Yes.
I mean, if their parents are watching the crazy news, we know what that does.
Oh,
And
my
dumps
goodness.
the poisonous
Yes.
chemicals into our bodies. But to be able to go back in time and just do
Simple.
the the
Simple.
simplicity.
Simple stuff.
Yes.
But they're not communicating. They're depending 30 seconds,
Very
so they're
true.
depending on all this,
Very true.
and they hide behind it, and it's creating a nightmare.
And I love what you said. I can't believe they're not doing recess.
But that is
When did
that is
that happen?
nothing.
Crazy.
But you know what
Oh,
this is?
right.
All right, here, think about this society, and I know where a lot of it comes from. It's achievement. We got to achieve.
Yes.
Do you remember, like, everybody started kindergarten? What did you used to do in kindergarten?
Play.
Oh, yes.
Play. Do you know kindergarten's no longer play? Are you
no.
aware of that?
Oh, no.
I remember even my mother-in-law saying to me,
pre-kindergarten.
"Oh, you know, if you don't put, maybe she was saying about somebody else, if you don't get those children into preschool, they're lost." So the whole idea
So-
is you learn kindergarten before you even get to kindergarten. You learn your letters, you learn your numbers. By kindergarten, you're reading. So somewhere we've got so
Hold that thought.
achievement
I'm sorry.
oriented.
I don't mean to interrupt. Time to go to break. We'll be right
Wow.
back.
At a certain age, so this is supposed to happen. No, it's not supposed to happen.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
at a certain age, so this is supposed to happen. No, it's not supposed to happen.
And goldfish. We're back. Here we are again. See, we just don't even stop. We just keep talking right through the break. And our poor producer, John, we love you. We do for putting up with us. Anyway,
That is a cute
welcome back into Women Unscripted. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, Cher Kistler, Helena Trangata, Chrysula Gauze, and of course, Maura Sweeney. I hope you're having fun with this. We were just talking about an idea that Cher puts together in the calming jars, but before we talk about that, what's behind me, I don't know if you can get that up full screen here, because otherwise, here we go.
Yes.
This is what was posted on Facebook, and Cher posted it today, and I thought this is so true, because that is what we talk about. It's up to our generation because we have the awareness on what's happening with our generations coming up. For those of us that have grandchildren, imagine if every 8-year-old in the world is taught meditation, we will eliminate violence from the world within one generation. This is the Dalai Lama. Okay, who I have such, who doesn't respect the Dalai Lama? He's all about peace and love.
Awesome.
And that's what it must get back to. I have a book like this from Heart Math Institute on teaching kids how to love.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty strong. That's powerful. But you know what? We're in that day and age where we've got to do it. And I mean, that's what I do. I only have one grandson for now, but you don't have any just yet, but are you?
No, but I've
but you're
enough kids in
prepared.
the family.
You do, and you are like a mama and a grandmama to everyone. And Maura, you don't have any grandkids yet, but you still have your daughter.
Yeah.
And she's how old?
Well, she's all grown up though. She's
all-
up north. She's all grown up.
How is she?
26.
So she's still. Well, she's.
She's not married with any kids. But so she's an old soul. Kaylee was young when she was older. She was older when she was young.
She inherited that from you.
But she has more fun than I do.
We can change that.
I told her, I said, boy, I said, Kaylee, you so inspire me with the ideas you come up with.
Gee, I wonder
Should I
where
give
she
you one?
inherited that.
Wait, should I give you an idea?
Yes, and then
this
we want
is
you to
good
tell us
because
about
we've
the
been
jars.
talking about Florida. Let me talk about New York. So our daughter really has a lot of nice friends in New York, and think about it. This generation, they're not marrying as young as they were. They don't have the finances, let's say, that the baby boomer generation had. So my daughter said to me one day, Mom, I've been talking about this with my friends for about a year. We want to all go on a bike ride throughout New York. Because I live in Brooklyn, but there's several boroughs. And she said, we want to work it out so that as we're biking, we're stopping at all of these places that have dumplings. So that means you go to the Italian place and they have ravioli. You go to the Polish place and they have pierogies.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had 9 stops along the way. One of the stops they made is the site of the 1964 World Fair. I said, Kaylee, you better take some pictures and send them down to me. She's not really a poster on social media. There must have been 7 or 9 young people on their bikes, and every time they'd stop at one of these different restaurants along the way, she said, Mom, by the time we got finished, she said, I think I spent under $10. We had every kind of food. The weather was great. Those kids had an awesome time. And I said, how do you come up with these ideas? Right, because you think you could just live somewhere, it's always the same. But she and her friends talked about it.
See, that's good. That's healthy.
And made it happen. And I thought
that is so
they were
healthy.
out. The kids were. I'm saying kids. That's what happens when you get older. They all looked so happy, and they were just enjoying the weather, enjoying the bike riding, enjoying the food, and it cost nothing. And I thought, great idea. But they created it.
They created it, so they get it. They get it. It's coming back to that. Good. You have a solution for.
Well, it's
a jar.
Idea. We're talking about how do you counteract the chaos that we see in the world, or even stressing not just us, but maybe the kids. And how can we set an example? How can we be the change that we want to see in the world?
Yes.
So I saw this a while back, and I'm sure a lot of people have maybe even tried it, but it's to make a calming jar, something like this. There's actually a recipe where you have some water and some kind of gel substance, because you could Google it, and there's all different kinds to make. But then you add the glitter and the stars and the confetti or the, whatever it is. And then the idea, then you also would glue the top on. But then the idea is when you turn it upside down, it just takes
Moves
a
slow.
while for it to go to the bottom.
beautiful.
And it's mesmerizing. So for someone who needs
We're gonna do that.
practice and
We're gonna do
calming,
that.
yes,
Definitely.
it's just such a great idea, and it's fun. I mean, look at it online.
Yeah.
It's really
And
neat.
it allows kids to get into envisioning
Yes.
and imagining and dreaming.
And creating.
When you said the
Right.
stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking
that's like a
immediately of
vision
things
board
I
in a
like. I was going to
jar.
have little fish.
There we go.
What about
that.
All right.
But it's an exercise, is what it
love
does.
it.
It helps
That's
you
beautiful.
to learn how to, you know,
To
maybe
relax,
to
right?
calm, yeah.
To
I just
calm,
came up
like
with a new
that.
idea. Because of this, because of all
Okay.
this.
Okay,
All right,
let's have
now
it.
think about this. We're at
What
the
is
end
it?
of October, right? November's coming. People are going to start saying, okay, what are we going to do for the holidays? What are we going to do for presents? How many of those crazy things go around? The elephant, the
Oh,
white
my
elephants.
goodness, yes.
Imagine if you say, I'm going to have people at the house. We're going to have all these jars.
I like where
bring,
you're going.
Right, bring your
Yes.
glitter, bring this,
I
bring that.
do.
Somebody
And make
brings some
calming.
food.
We're gonna do
and
that.
it's like, you know when you're kids and you go and you do something
Yes.
with craft, you could
Yes.
do it. Men,
Yes.
women,
Yes.
kids,
Yes.
older, younger, and then everybody gets to display. And then you know what else you could do? You could say, I'm going to make this as a gift for so-and-so.
Of course.
I like
What's
that.
a great, and it can't
That's
cost
a
very much
fantastic
either.
idea. Creative, inexpensive,
Yes.
interactive. It's a gift, and it's social.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
That's
I love it.
perfect.
Oh, I
Thank
see.
you, Cher. That's
love it.
good.
We need to bring
I'm
our,
already
make our
imagining
own
my
and
own.
bring them.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
When would you like?
Or if we get together and make
Yeah,
them.
I was going to say we need to get together and make
All right,
that.
well, somebody's
Yeah.
got to do
Do
that.
Have a
That's
laugh
so
and
cute.
have more fun. More
It's
fun.
not possible on this show. Maybe next show. Could you put? Who has the recipe? You have the recipe,
I have one.
Put
in
the
mind,
recipe
but
on the
we
show.
could look at
or on
look
show
at it on
notes?
Google.
We could put it on
What'd you
show
say, John,
notes.
about
She's so
dumplings?
excited.
He likes the
pierogies
dumpling. He
are
likes
not-
dumpling.
The
That's
idea
in my daughter's world, they are considered some kind of dumplings. Everything that was stuffed with something became a dumpling, and I thought they were like around the world
He says
in all
that's
these
not a
places.
dumpling.
Well, tell him he doesn't
it
know.
doesn't matter.
It wasn't his outing.
But that's really a creative idea because when we make those choices to help out our
Right.
families and our kids and all that, I mean, for years I made homemade craft gifts, and it always was from the heart, whatever it was. I'd do portraits of family members, or I would make a handbag from. I would learn not online because we didn't have these at the time, but Frank's Nursery. Remember Frank's Nursery?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I just march right in there and talk to the craft people and tell them what I want to do.
that's right,
And those
Frank.
homemade
I
gifts
forgot.
mean, I think, more. Well, they mean more to me than going out and shopping for something. You know that?
I agree, and I think even maybe more today. I remember
Oh, yeah.
I'm not much of a baker, but I could do pretty good cookies at Christmas time, the Viennese crescents. So my daughter and I would do this, but you know what made it special for me? I found all these really neat boxes at like a Michael's, so I would know what their house looked like, whether I was giving it to kids or to adults, and we would not only make the cookies and put very pretty tissues on the inside, but we decorated all these really neat boxes. Now, how would you feel if somebody came to your house and gave you something like that, something
I'd
you
love it.
made?
I'd love it.
Yeah.
That gives me a great idea for my real estate customers buying or selling. Because you can't put anything in the mailbox, but you can go deliver a gift to them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Good idea.
Great idea. This is so good.
Here's another thing.
Uh-oh, she is
wait a
really
minute.
on
We're
fire.
going.
She's on fire.
Wait a minute, because it's of you, Barbara. Before this show started, Barbara was showing us her
My
her
bracelets.
jewelry. Okay, now I was just thinking about my sister-in-law, very crafty girl, and she has some unbelievable recipes when she bakes. But what she'll do is she'll make them into just these little small packages, and then she does something with wires and sea glass. It's no different from what you're doing, but it's her version.
Right.
And so not only are people getting these beautiful, unbelievable cookies, but they end up with these very pretty devices that close the cookies in to whatever she's using. And then you could use them for, I forgot what she uses them for. They're beautiful.
Right.
So none of it costs very much money. It's so thoughtful. People feel like they're getting a piece of art.
Right.
But see, just what you were talking
Yes.
about. Anything you like to do, anything you could create, and put it into something for a gift, how much more does that say to the
Oh
heart?
my goodness.
I think
from
it
the
does.
heart or gifts from for a purpose. You know,
Or for
like-
no purpose at all, just because you want
Right.
to tell somebody you were
Thoughtful
thinking
gifts.
about them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Wow.
I
we're
thought
And bringing kids
talking
in to show
about the
them.
jar thing, because jars are good to work with. A gratitude jar where
Oh,
you
yes.
write down
Yes.
all the things that
Very
you're grateful for, and maybe colored paper, whatnot, and you fold it up and you put it in the jar. and you fill it up. And you can actually either gift that,
Right.
or you can keep it for yourself, and then you start taking out one at a time to remind yourself of what you're
And that's
grateful
what we
for in
need.
your life.
The reminder of fun.
What we did that when the kids were young, and we did it like on a day that they had a really bad day.
Yeah.
So they come home, they're like throwing the book bag over in
Right.
the corner, they're this and that, and I was like, let's just go see what's in the gratitude jar.
Yeah.
And so we found, so we give it more positive than negative. Yeah, you had a bad day today, but here's what's been good in your life for this amount of, for the last few weeks. And so they really did. I mean, for boys, rough and tough boys, that was hard to teach them this, and that was one of the best ways that I had. So yeah, that was great.
beautiful.
But you know what you
I
just
think the good
talked about?
stuff.
You just changed the focus. Think about that. Because have you ever been by yourself, or let's say you're in the same environment and you get stuck on one thing, and let's say the thing is not a good thing, that's all you think about, that,
And you
then
go
it
back
just-
for more.
Right.
And more.
And it's like
and
you're
more.
eating a bad meal, or
Yeah.
you're getting a bigger headache,
Yeah.
but you change the focus.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that other thing just sort of
It
goes
fades away. It fades away.
Right,
We only have
right.
30 seconds remaining, and that's a very, very good point, Maura. Is changing the focus, and that's what we're here to help you. Is change the focus on your view on what's happening in your life right now, yesterday, and don't think about the future based on the past, because the past doesn't equal the future. Live in the now. Live in love. And if you need some help, we're all life coaches here, so we can give you a little hand. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
At a certain age, so this is supposed to happen. No, it's not supposed to happen.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
At a certain age, so this is supposed to happen. No, it's not supposed to happen.
Look, there's
Hi everyone, we're back by popular demand actually. Thanks for being out there. It's Women Unscripted. There's 5 of us today. High five for the 5 today. Woo, is right. So thanks for joining us.
Lunch lady arms. Talk about the lunch lady arms.
So thank you for joining us. We have in this last segment, we're going to be talking about something that maybe you're not real familiar with. Maybe you are. It's all about our frequency level. And basically what that means is, where are we? Where are we in our energies? I'm sure you can clearly feel our positive energies right through that TV screen because it's been proven.
Or you think we're totally crazy.
Or you think we're totally crazy, right?
We got Barb to do it.
Maybe we are. Maybe we do need to make the world crazy, right? But anyway.
What's wrong with crazy?
Yeah.
If this is crazy.
Crazy good.
Yeah, it works for me if that's what
I'd
they
like
want to
that.
call us.
It's
But it's
our
all,
new.
I mean, it's positive. We're not driving negative forces out there. And it has to do with
It's a step up from sassy.
All right, so for people out there who don't know about their own energy, I think there's more and more people who are learning. And we've maybe all had to teach ourselves. But I bet there's a lot of people, they say to themselves, why do I feel so rotten? Or why am I so upset?
It's the vibrational energy that you are vibrating with at the time. And either you're in a low frequency, a mediocre, or you're really high. And when you're up here, you will attract more of the same. If you're down here in a low frequency, maybe you had a bad day at work. Maybe you bounced your checkbook. Oh, and then you just, okay, now what am I going to do, right? Okay, so you're vibrating at a lower frequency. My husband can explain that way better than I because our company is all certified through Heart Math Institute, and we have the studies behind what happens with the heart. Did you ever know that if you ever been to a party or you've been anywhere, somebody walks into the room and you can kind of feel a little standoffish? Like, or yeah, exactly, like that. It's because of you're feeling that person's frequencies. Within 12 feet, it's measured. And then what about walking into a room and there's those that walk in after you and they're like a magnet?
Yes.
Because they are vibrating at a high level of frequency. That's really the long and short of it.
Well,
Can I?
Go.
Go ahead,
No,
go.
I'm
I was going to talk about you because you reminded me of something, Barbara. Go first.
Well, I'm just saying that the say our positive and negative vibrations, our behaviors, our thoughts, our words that we choose, it all creates that energy. So if we're more inclined to be reactionary and be negative, or we get bottled up with our stress and whatnot, is all affecting us. It's affecting our neocortex and the frontal lobe of the brain because we emit actually chemistry.
Yes, we do.
So if we're thinking stressful thoughts, we have more cortisols and adrenalines running through our body. And if we realize it, and the big word is awareness, if we become aware of our energy.
Right, because you can change it.
Then we can shift it.
Yeah.
And we can go into the calming or happy thoughts that actually send the endorphins and the good chemistry.
It does.
And it actually changes your health, because if you're chronic and being stuck in the loops of negativity, then we feel it. You know, our heart rate,
absolutely.
everything is just all about stress.
well, this
that
is a perfect segue. Go ahead.
On that, I just want to, before I forget this, but I have a friend that has been under a tremendous amount of stress, and it's finally caught up with her to the point where she was so tight and was getting a massage. The massage therapist said, "You are so stressed and so tight that your muscles and tendons are literally pulling your skeletal bones away from one and causing pain in the shoulder, causing pain. It all goes down." And you, Chrysula, know from teaching Tai Chi and doing your breathing and doing the deep breathing. We'll do some exercises here at one time on that, because it does help you calm down in instantly, truly instantly.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's about you. Okay, but everything reminds me of something. It might have been 5 years ago when I met you, and I learned that you were a publisher, and I wanted to be able to refer people to publishers. So you invite me to go to an event that you were running. I get into the room. Do you remember this, Barbara?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I get
We didn't
into
know
this-
each other.
No, this is what's amazing, and this is why it's so good, because you gave the scientific side. I'll give you, this is what it feels like as a person, a regular person. So I'm kind of quiet. I guess I was quiet. I didn't know where I was going. All right, I'm a little louder now. I walk into this place. I only know you. And all of a sudden, Barbara shows up. I can't do it, right? I can't. She gets out of her chair and starts running over, and she said, "Welcome, I've been waiting for you. I didn't know your name. You gave me such a big hug." And I thought, see, you know what I felt? I felt embracing and I felt love. And I'm sitting around the table and suddenly we're discussing so many things. And you know what I felt? I felt such freedom. Your husband was there. He had me laughing. I think he's from Pittsburgh or Philly.
Philly.
And this is what got me. I had been living in the same county. But I told, and for 30 years, but I never met you, and I was never around this group. Here I am in a completely different environment, and I remember thinking, wow, these people are so free. There was so much love and so much acceptance. Look at you smiling. This is what I felt. That's what it's like when you are in a high frequency environment. You can't miss it.
Yes.
I mean, everybody knows somebody could walk through the door. It's like, oh my gosh, there they come.
Are they
But-
really here?
Right, or oh,
Crazy
now we
lady.
can't talk, we can't say anything, we can't laugh, we can't be free.
Right.
Somebody, they're going to be making judgments about me. But
Right,
when
right.
you're around high frequency, you feel embraced, you feel loved,
Yes.
you feel free to just be yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
So you have the scientific side and you have the real life side, but it's the same thing.
And the scientific side, too, behind love is, you may or may not believe this, love is also anti-aging naturally.
I believe that. I believe that.
It is anti-aging naturally, and I'll let it go at that, because when you live from love and everything you do, it comes out that way. And I'm not saying, don't have a bad day or go through stuff and everything, but
You mean we're not human, or we are human?
I'll tell you, being on the walker for 3 weeks, trust me, I was really.
I like the way she did the walker.
Yeah.
You did it well, though.
And now she's doing.
I'm not making this sound.
Oh my goodness.
She's so over us.
You started it, though, Sharon.
Did you have something?
Oh, I have nothing. We were talking, about the fact that so many people just don't know how to deal with these. They don't have the skills.
That's right.
And so,
Right.
and the other thing is, they're so simple. Simple things like when someone confronts you, you don't have to respond. You don't have to react.
Right.
It is a choice that we make. You can back up. If you can't back up physically, you could back up in your mind. Take a deep breath, because we know how cleansing that can be, right? And then you can react. Not react, respond. Then you can respond. And if you're not ready to at that time, you don't have to.
Right.
That's the thing.
right.
We don't have to do that right then.
Perfect.
We can say, you know what? I've got to go out to my car and get a go outside.
Yes.
Do you think that's
walk
learned
around.
behavior to react
Yes.
from a more violent?
Well, then we
look
come
what we're
back
seeing
to
on
what?
the news.
Definitely.
Yes.
Do we come back to what? We come back to
Source.
the young kids, right? I'm sorry. And yes,
Learning.
source.
Oh, learning life skills.
Learning life
Right.
skills.
Or social
at
skills.
PE or at,
That's right.
and now they can, go ahead.
No, it's funny.
She's getting all
Everything
these
is an idea.
ideas.
Everything that goes around this table tonight, new idea. Thank you for bringing in the practical side, because that's true. How often,
Yeah.
let's say
Yes.
we all react, and let's say, do you remember, what was that funny show? I come from a long line of overreactors. Everybody loves Raymond. Do you remember that line?
Yes.
My husband, I thought it was hysterical. I come from a long line of overreactors. So imagine if that's your family.
Yeah.
That's your origin. Everybody says something and the next person gets mad and offended. And before
Right,
you know it,
right.
nobody's talking to each other.
Right.
But something simple like that. So you know what? I can choose not to bite the bait.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And there's
right.
bait everywhere.
Yeah.
On top of it, you know how you all with the phones. How about right now everything is instantaneous? So and so said this. Well, I'm going to tweet them right back, or I'm going to get right back at them. I'm offended. I'm going to tell them what I think. I'm going to give them the peace of my mind. We're in that instant society.
Right.
But as you said, what did you say? Step back.
Step back.
Take a step back.
And you can either physically or
in your mind, because we can just take that step back. As we step back, we breathe. Maybe pull your shoulders back a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not that I'm a Tai Chi instructor or anything. I'm just saying.
But you get it.
But let that air flow through our body and cleanse us.
Right.
To get back to source, and then we share that response from a good place.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. You need to make one of your shirts that way. I like that. That's beautiful because we
Step
need
back.
sometimes we need to be reminded. And when you see that, you literally, when I see a shirt like that, I literally sit there and go, okay. So can you imagine
that.
how nice
Yes.
that is when you
Yes.
have a shirt that says that? You'll just look at it and go,
There's another party idea, right? Get the glitter out, make a shirt, and it's going to be your mantra, right?
I tell you,
Right.
That's a good
And,
idea.
You know, we've had this conversation about creativity and how it raises the endorphins and raises that. I mean, when I'm creative, I'm most happy, and regardless of whatever it is that I'm in creativity
Right.
for. We only have 1 minute. We could go on for another
goodness.
2 or 3
Wow.
hours, but
Is it possible that they could send questions? I mean, we're going
Sure.
into the holiday
Sure.
season, so if they have questions about how to react, I mean, we're going into what has been known as a volatile time of the year with family interactions right and left.
Sure.
And, could they send questions to the show?
that would be fun.
Of course, they can, and actually they can call the show if they want, or they can even get with any one of us on Facebook. But I do need to say my goodbyes just for today. Be sure to tune in next Monday live at 5. My husband will be back. We're going to be talking about the new you age and alternatives that we can help you with, including what we're talking here. Thanks for joining us. Mwah!